Aaron Lee here with head coach Dawson Odums of the Southern Jaguars. And coach, just talk about SWAC Media Day. It kind of gears things up to, camp season and get the whole season started. So just talk about SWAC Media Day.
Well, kickoff is around the corner. Usually when you have SWAC Media Day, you got an opportunity to really just dust off the shoes and really start getting the whistles ready because football's on the horizon.
All right, they were announced today as far as the SWAC championship coming back to Birmingham. That was kind of the big news. Just explain your thoughts on that, and how will you get your team prepared to potentially compete in that game this season?
Well, we only talk about it the first team meeting, and then everything else is about how we can be the best we can be today. So the biggest thing is having something to compete for at the end of the season. I think that's the biggest challenge, and that's what all the coaches were pushing for. So whether we're playing here or somewhere else, but I really think it's going to be great playing here. I think the city of Birmingham is embracing the opportunity to have a game that they can call their own, and we're just excited to have it as a conference because I think at the end of the day, you want to have something you can compete for at the end of the season.
All right, we talk about the SWAC championship, but we got a lot of new coaches. Just talk about the competitive nature that this conference will see this year with the new guys, and then also, the legends guys that's in the conference as well.
Yeah. I think when you look at it, though, I think it's only one coach that's outside the conference. And when you look at it, you look at Alabama State, they elevated a guy that was already on staff, so he's familiar with the conference. You look at UAPB, they brought a guy that back home that was in the conference, and then when you look at Mississippi Valley, they got a guy that was in the conference. So, and then you look at PV, they got a guy that was in the conference. So you look at Alabama A&M, they're the ones that stepped outside the conference to bring in a new coach. So I really think the other coaches will be familiar with each other. I think they understand the landscape of the SWAC. But now that they're head coaches, we got to deal with the unknown, and I really think that's what makes it exciting.
All right, let's talk about some of the players that you brought here. Demario Houston, Dennis Craig, two guys that were big for you last year. Just explain both of their roles, Craig at tight end and then Houston at corner.
Yeah. Well, Demario is, he's from Shelby, North Carolina. I actually played with his father growing up, so I've known him for a long time, and his family is a football family. They're an athletic family. They're a sports family. So to see him having that kind of success, his sophomore year didn't go exactly the way he wanted, but when you stick to things, they usually work out. They don't always go your way, but if you stick to it, usually they work out. And I'm happy to see him in this position to be able to be a leader on our defense and really to step in and continue to be a starter for us. And he's done a great job for us, and I'm looking for him to compete really well this year. Dennis Craig, he's one of the better tight ends in the country. He has a skill set of a receiver, body of a tight end. He just got to put it all together, and I hope he can have a breakout season. So those two seniors are going to pay dividends for us on the field, but also in leadership roles off the field.
All right, we talk about Dennis Craig being a big target for the potential quarterback that you're still trying to figure out. So going into camp, what's the mindset to try to figure out who's the right guy to lead this team this season?
Well, I think it's like anything else that we do in Louisiana. It's done because it rises to the top. So usually when you drop some crawfish in there, normally you can realize that, they're seasoned and they're seasoned right. Being in the state of Louisiana, I think we got a nice flavor of crawfish in our quarterbacks. We don't know which one is going to be pleasing to the fans or pleasing to this team, but whichever one rises to the top, I think will be ready to lead the Blue Machine.
All right, got to talk about the bad things. Grambling has had the best of Southern in the Bayou Classic in the last couple of years. How are you going to change that this year, this season, with the guys you have right now?
Well, I think when we get to that bridge, we'll be ready to focus on that game. But I think it's everything leading up to that. I think it's months prior to getting to that game. I think it's the off season. I think it's the mindset. I think it's about being healthy. I think you got to get to that game and you got to be healthy. Your players got to be healthy. You got to be mentally locked in. And it's an off season where you win that football game. It's never at the game. And I thought we had a productive off season. I think we got a productive fall camp. I think we got an exciting football team. But I think last year the loss really hurts. You cannot move past and move forward unless it hurt. And I really think our guys are locked in to not feel that hurt again. And hopefully we have a great year and be in the same predicament that we were in a year ago.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach Dawson. Good luck this season. Aaron Lee, SWAC Media Day.